Benita Show.
Hello world, and welcome to another episode of the Benita Show. Today is a very special day because we are educating the world on the Center for Women in Transition. I'm here with Mr. Bob Wessels, who is the Executive Director for the Center, and he's going to tell us what it is that this center does for these awesome women who have just been, some of them just been released from being incarcerated, and you're going to hear their live stories right here on the Benita Show. But first, we're going to talk to Mr. Wessels. Tell the world what it is that you do here.
Well, we help women make a successful transition from being incarcerated back to their families and community. And we do this using restorative justice principles and practices. We provide a variety of services to help provide a continuum of care for these women so that they can be successful. We are a nonprofit organization. We're a member of the United Way here in St. Louis. And we provide services such as housing, case management counseling, employment opportunities, a chance for women to receive treatment for various addictions that may have led to their incarceration, and a lot of things in between that's going to help them successfully re-enter society as a contributing member of society going forward.
All right. Mr. Wessels, how long have you been the Executive Director here?
About a year and a half, just a little over a year. We came to the center in November of 2011, and so here we are. So.
Okay. Where were you at previously? Have you always done this type of work?
I've been in nonprofit work for over 25 years. Prior to this, I worked at the ALS Association and the St. Louis Society for the Physically Disabled. I've also been with the Family Resource Center all in St. Louis, and prior to that I had a career with the Boy Scouts of America for 20 years in Chicago and in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Oh, okay. And what is it that brought you to the center? What is it? I see you have a giving heart. That's what you've been doing it for a number of years now. What was it about the center that led you here?
It's a great organization that you can really see the results of your efforts. You can see women's lives really transformed almost on a daily basis. Women who maybe have had troubles with addictions or overcoming those addictions. Women who have been homeless now have a safe place to call home until they can develop their own place. These are women who are learning new skills and developing, reestablishing relationships, sometimes with their own families, sometimes with the community, and getting back on track. And every day is a wonderful opportunity to come and see women improve their lives and that of their families.
Wow. Tell us specifically about some of the programs. Some of your, I see right here, you have GED work groups, Path to Success, that takes place at the St. Louis Public Library. And I know you have a lot of education programs, a lot of training programs. Tell us specifically about some of those programs.
Well, one of our biggest programs is our mentoring programs. And this is where we take women in the community who are established. They volunteer their times to work with an individual for up to a year, helping being a guiding force for our clients. And the mentoring program is a wonderful way for two people to kind of blend their resources and talents to help another get reestablished.
So you're always in need of mentoring, aren't you?
Constantly, because we try to individually match our client with a mentor that has special talents or resources and, based on the individual needs of the client. And so some of our women are a little bit older, some are a little bit younger, but they all have something to offer a woman who's reestablishing her life.
Wow. Tell us about the homes. You have 2 homes.
We own and operate 2 homes. One is called Courtois House, in which we house 12 women every night. The other is Shermer House, and they operate with 28 women. And we also have some scattered site housing throughout the county and the city. So at any given time, we will have about 45 women, 46 women who are in safe housing, who otherwise would be on the streets of St. Louis.
Do they have different jobs in those houses? Are they responsible for different things?
Oh yes.
To help maintain the homes?
Each woman is assigned different responsibilities. Some of it may be maintaining the landscaping outdoors. Sometimes it's a matter of keeping the common areas clean. Each woman shares an apartment. They have a responsibility to keep the apartment clean and in good working order. But the women also have a responsibility to attend treatment or counseling, look for employment, work on their GED if they don't have their GED or high school diploma. So they have a constant responsibility, and they're constantly working and making themselves better so that they can be employable and have their own housing at some point. And they're responsible for securing their food and preparing it, and learning about budgeting, and menus, and the whole shebang of taking care of themselves.
What's the length of the program? 18 months or so?
Well, usually we'll have women anywhere from 6 months to a year, sometimes a little bit more depending on the need and the situation. Sometimes with the economy it's difficult sometimes for these women to find employment. If they have a criminal record or if they've had a history of drug abuse, it makes it a little bit more difficult for these women to find gainful employment.
So do you also coach them, like if they want to own their own businesses? Do you have mentors in that area?
We do, and we have a very dedicated staff that works with these women to understand where they are with their lives and the steps that's going to be necessary for them to be successful in their transition. The things that they're going to need to do to find employment, find an apartment on their own, and be able to sustain that, and also how to maybe develop relationships with their families that maybe have been hard because of their incarceration. So they have a full schedule. So, but within a year, if they follow the plan for them, 90% of them, 95% will be successful and not reoffend or be incarcerated again.
Because this program actually has a high success rate and decreases the recidivism,
reoffending,
right, rate because of the programs that you all offer here. And what's the percentage?
Well, our success rate is 90 to 95% of the women will not reoffend or go back to incarceration.
And without this program, the percentage is?
On a national level, 66% will go back and reoffend. On the state level, it's about 23% will reoffend. So we are basically a national model for what works in helping those who have been incarcerated go back to society as productive.
Right. And I know you only have 2 homes and you have some smaller homes scattered throughout where you can house these ladies. But what the need is to have more larger homes, correct? Because you only have 2 homes here in this area.
That's right. We will serve about 180 women over the course of a year, 180 different women. But that takes great resources. And, so we will always have a need for more fundraising or contributions of paper goods, paper towels, toilet papers, clothing, materials that will help the women when they do find their own place, housewares, sheets, towels, those things can all help us if we have contributions of those, save on the budget and make our budget go much farther. think this building came to us in 2005, 2006. Tile,
Okay.
fixing floors or cabinets and painting. So we always have projects that we need assistance with if they're having construction trades. Our agency started 15 years ago.
Okay.
And I think this building came to us in
Our beautiful ladies here at the Center for Women in Transition that Tracy Allen is helping to beautify for the Benita Show so they can tell their story. Look at you. Oh.
Congestive heart failure, and yeah, it took a toll on me, but I feel like I'm getting better every day.
Awesome, awesome.
In the state of Missouri, it's basically between $25,000 and $30,000 to incarcerate one person for a year. And for about $6,500, we will take an individual, work with them for a year, house them, feed them, clothe them, at a great savings at about $6,500. So we save every taxpayer per person close to $18,000 a year for every woman that we work with and help, as opposed to being incarcerated.
Wow.
Saving the taxpayers of the state millions of dollars.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a program, Benita Show here is a program worth contributing time, efforts, goods to help these women go on to better their lives. It's saving you a lot of money.
And we have a lot of ways for volunteers to come on and help us, whether it be helping us with donations or helping us run different activities and events, being a mentor, or even just coming down and answering the phones at the office. All help save us dollars and stretch our budgets.
And I tell you, I wanted 6 ladies today. I believe I got 3 because these ladies are busy. They are busy with their rebuilding their lives, so that's applaudable. You know, I don't have a room full of ladies lined up. We have 3 that were able to come because a lot of them are really, really busy, and these ladies happen to have a space in their schedule to come out here for us today. So you're going to get to see them here in a little bit.
They took time out of their schedules to be here because they felt it was pretty important to tell the stories.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear some of these stories. What are some of your, well, do a lot of the ladies that have moved on or graduated from here, do they come back and tell you their stories?
Some do. Some have come back and actually work for us in different positions as house managers or mentors or volunteers. And I think you hear from one lady today who's been a former client, has come back, has done very well with her life, and is a kind of a testimony to the model and the hard work that the staff and our volunteers do put in.
Awesome, awesome. Well, any final words you have for our viewers?
Just that every person needs a second chance.
Yes.
Everybody needs a first chance, and we give them even a second chance. And we never know when drug addiction or alcohol addiction could affect a member of our own family. And so we want programs like this to be there to help those who have had issues in the past be able to turn their lives around and be productive again. Whether it be a male offender or a female offender, there's hope. And as long as there's agencies like us and groups like the United Way that help support us, there's a great opportunity there.
Wow. And people that support them like the Benita Show.
Yes, very much
my
so.
contribution to.
And thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I can't wait to see some of the results. So.
This is our 15th year, and we were founded years ago by several women that were doing religious ministry, and they kept seeing the same women coming back to prison over and over again. And they finally said, well, what's happening here? Let's get an organization together that can address this. And so they interviewed hundreds of women, found out that some of their needs were when they left prison, there was no home for them. They were either homeless or they couldn't return to their families. They didn't have education. They didn't have jobs. Many of them had been addicted to different drugs or alcohol and had no help. And so these women were very, very wise, and they went back to their communities and got other women and men in the community together and formed the Center for Women, which addressed and solved these problems so that in 15 years, over 1,700 women have successfully completed our program and gone on to return to the community as productive members of society.
That is awesome. What a great track record. That's wonderful. And it saddens my heart that even though you all have helped 1,700 women so far, due to the lack of facilities in this area, there are still many women that are being turned away because they don't have the space.
Absolutely.
So that's why people, time, effort, money, donations are needed for the center to help them build more homes, to be able to help every woman that comes out and returns to this area.
There's literally thousands upon thousands of women who enter incarceration each year and return. Not all women are locked up, or not all men are locked up for life.
Right.
Many of them are only incarcerated for anywhere from 4 months to maybe 10 years. And so they need to have help re-entering the society so they don't make the same mistakes time and time again.
So help is needed here. So, and that's what my show is doing, helping get the word out about the Center for Women in Transition. And we want to thank you for joining us. And we're gonna talk to some other ladies, and we're also gonna take a tour of one of the facilities. So sit tight, and we'll be right back. So.
Thank you.
Bob, you pointed to one of the ladies on your wall here, and we can't show their faces, but she's 25 years old.
25 years old.
Okay.
She was a heroin addict. Came to our program, and she successfully beat the addiction and found employment. And after a lot of work from our staff and our mentors and her parents got involved to help support her. She found employment, and after a few months on the job, they gave her a raise. And she was so proud of her raise, she took a bus all the way back from the Central West End down to visit us just to tell us about her raise. And now she's a terrific advocate against the heroin use.
Awesome.
She's been working to get her child back. And she's just a fantastic young lady.
Working to get her
who,
life back.
And I'm sorry we can't show her, but she is a beautiful young lady that I've been looking at on this wall, but go ahead.
Yes, and but it's through the program that she was able to turn her life around and beat the addiction that she was having great difficulties.
How many years has she been addicted?
Probably
her
most of
teen
started
life?
in teen
Okay.
life, and she's 25 now, 26.
But she's been clean for how long?
Over a year, almost 2 years now. So
That's wonderful,
it's
wonderful.
really something that our community needs to know, that these drugs are very powerful drugs. It only takes one time to become addicted for life.
Wow.
And if you have a daughter, if they're going out to a party, you need to caution them, because anybody can slip. The drugs come in many different forms, and anybody can slip a drug into their drink, make them feel like, oh, if you're going to take this drug, you're going to be the top of the world. And this just, no, it's not. It's a horrible, horrible, it controls their life, it controls their destiny, and they cannot just go cold turkey anymore and beat this drug. You have to have professional help. That's how powerful these drugs are.
I have, from the drugs and manufacturing methamphetamine, the chemicals has caused severe damage to my lungs. I have coronary artery disease and COPD and asthma and congestive heart failure. And yeah, it took a toll on me.
Wow, wow. And this is the tub of medicine you have to take
Yes,
every day
every day.
to,
Yes.
how does that medicine help you to keep you alive?
It does keep me alive. It keeps my heart regulated and keep my
Yeah.
blood thin. I had a stent placement in 2010. I had an 85% blocked artery. But I feel like I'm getting better every day.
And we really need to do more to clean up the drugs in our community, because they're in every nook and cranny in every community, whether they're wealthy or poor and everything in between. That they're readily available, too readily, and we. I've been told that 90% of all of our incarcerations across this country have something to do with the drug trade. They're either using it, buying it, selling it, stealing for it, committing murder for it, or whatever. But it's just a terrible epidemic that's affecting our community in so many negative ways, that if we can get our young people not to try it, don't even try it once, they'll be much better off. And we need more kids to stand on their own 2 feet, but we also need more parents to take an active role in their children's lives, clear through high school, because that's when they need them the most.
Well, and then those kids, they feel that their parents are being too intrusive, but in today's society, you have to know the who, what, when, where, and why. Parents have to ask that, and I know a lot of them do. You have to nowadays. You know, like you mentioned with the party, you know, anybody can slip something in your drink, in your food. You know, there's properties of drugs like that just dissolve. And you know, if a parent wants to know who you're hanging out with, where you're going to after that, what time you're going to be home, it's because they care about you.
Exactly.
And they care what happens to them in this scary society that we live in.
Find out how you can support CWIT by donating food, clothing, bus passes, etc. Call 314-771-5207. CWIT is making a difference in the lives of women and children affected by drugs. Help CWIT make their lives count. Call 314-771-5207 today.